Hey guys, welcome back to another episode here. Listen, today I want to invite you into something. All right. We are in 2025 and I'm about to launch something really, really cool. And I want to invite you over to my website to go check it out. And I want to see you guys in this. All right. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So, first of all, the website that you're going to go to is www.undietyou.com. That's my health coaching website. Lots of resources on there. I even have a wellness store on there. I have a freebie store on there. So you can find so much information on there. But what I want to invite you to today is I want you to go to the website. You're going to scroll down and you're going to look for my 6-week Undiet You signature program. I'm launching this January 20th. Now, this 6-week program is stacked and full of so many amazing things. But the reason that I want you to come in is, well, first of all, my goal in 2025 is to help hundreds and thousands of people lose weight, feel better, get more energy, lose inches, ditch the dieting culture, and really learn and know and understand what it feels like and what it means to fuel and nourish your body with healthy foods, know what it feels like to get good and amazing sleep, know what it feels like and understand how to do all these things, and also exercise, get your body moving. This is our goal. This is not a dieting thing. It's the reason this is called Undiet You. My whole goal with this and the whole purpose behind this is to teach you how to do these things and achieve these things without dieting. Now, there's going to be a couple different options, but let me first tell you this. This is the most affordable program that I have ever done. All right. So my other programs where I coach and bring clients in and the clients that I help, like that's much more in depth in terms of looking at lab work and stuff like that. That's not what this is. This is strictly teaching you how to fuel and nourish your body. You're going to be inside my coaching app. You're going to be able to track all your stuff. You're going to have workouts. You're going to have habit building. There's going to be a lesson every single week. And this is stuff that everybody should know, but most people don't. And so this is the foundation. This is the foundation that I teach my other clients. This is the foundation that I apply on a daily basis when it comes to food, exercise, sleep, water, all of those things. These are the things that you need. These are the things that you want if you want longevity and if you want to understand what to do to help you and you want to be able to help yourself. All right. There's going to be two different options. Okay. The first option is going to be your basic level. It's going to be $49 for you to get in there and be with me for 6 weeks. The next level up is going to be a VIP. You can level up for $99 for the entire 6 weeks. And with that VIP version, you're going to be able to get live calls with me. And on those live calls, you'll be able to ask questions and I'll be teaching things on those live calls. So you'll get a little bit more with that. Now, some people might be totally fine with doing the basic level, and that's totally okay. Whatever feels right for you to choose. So you can choose either the base level for $49 or you can choose the VIP level for $99. But let me tell you what you're going to get from this, okay? You're going to have more energy. You're going to lose weight. You're going to lose inches. If you apply the steps that I teach you, it's inevitable. These things are going to happen. Your brain fog is going to go down. You're going to start sleeping better. You're going to have less inflammation. You're going to have less bloating. Like these are all the things that you're going to experience if you come in and you apply the steps and the tools that I'm teaching you. So go to undietyou.com. All right. Look for the 6-week Undiet You signature program, and that's going to get you right in. We're going to start January 20th. So today's episode, we're going to be talking about building a healthier life one step at a time, which actually is in line with this program that I'm launching. All right. So how do you do that? So a lot of times, we feel like if we want to make changes or we want to achieve something, it's either all or nothing. Okay. And so it becomes very, very overwhelming, especially if you're someone that's like an all or nothing kind of person. And I work with those types of people all the time. And I have to teach them how to not do that, because what happens is if you're an all or nothing person, what you do is you self sabotage the minute that you feel like you messed up. You go in and you self sabotage. And I know that there are some of you that are doing that. You feel like a failure the minute that you ate the cookie when you felt like you shouldn't, or it wasn't on your plan. So then the rest of the day or even week, you're just like, what's the point? The point here is there is no such thing as perfection. No such thing. Okay. You don't become successful by being perfect. And so, one of the things that is really, really important to know is that habit stacking and habit building over the course of time is actually much more successful than trying to do it all at one time. Okay. So, a perfect example is picking 1 to 2 things that you're going to work on for that week. So let's just say, for example, you're not drinking enough water. All right. So one of your goals could be, hey, I'm going to up my water this week. And for this week, every single day, my goal is to get 90 ounces of water in. So your goal should be number one, you pick water and you say, I'm going to drink this much water on a daily basis. And then a second habit that you can bring in, if you feel like you can do more than one thing, you can say, okay, I'm going to make breakfast the most important meal of the day. And what is that going to look like? So you just pick those 2 things, water and breakfast. And then if you complete that for that week and you were consistent and you accomplished that goal, and at the end of the week, you did that every single day, and you feel like you can now continue on into the next week doing that and add something else on, now you can say, okay, now I'm going to start walking. I have done water and I've done the breakfast, and now I'm going to start adding in a 30-minute walk a day. And that's called habit stacking. It's far less overwhelming when you do that versus going in and feeling like you have to do everything at one time, which is actually what a lot of diets that are like dieting, that's what they have you do. It's all or nothing. So I can remember years ago, I did Whole30. And although Whole30 teaches you a lot of good things, it teaches you how to read labels, it teaches you how to cook more from scratch, it teaches you a lot of things. But one of the things that that program did is it taught you that if you messed up even just one meal, they made you start over. I'm like, that seems so harsh. So it kind of teaches you like, oh, you messed up the whole thing. And now you have to start over. It's almost like a punishment. And to me, that's not a healthy thing and a healthy way to look at things and a healthy way to do things. It's like, and people say, oh, I fell off the wagon. I'm like, why did you get on the wagon in the first place? It's not about getting on a wagon. It's about, I'm going to set goals, and I'm going to set exactly what I said with the breakfast and the water. Those are your goals, and that's what you're committing to for a week. Nothing else, don't bring anything else in because it becomes overwhelming. That's your goal and that's your commitment for that week. It doesn't mean that you got on anything. And by the way, choosing to eat healthy and whole foods that make you feel good and energize you and have you sleeping better and losing weight and all of those things, that's not dieting. That's a lifestyle. Dieting is restricting and saying you have to abide by these specific rules. It's kind of like Weight Watchers, where it's like you have to abide by the points. Like, that's dieting. What is not dieting is learning how to eat and fuel and nourish your body with good, healthy, whole foods, and it becomes a lifestyle. And you want that to be something that is sustainable for you in the long run. I recently had a gal that I'm working with. She was doing amazing. Like, she's doing all the things. She's applying the steps and the tools, and she's seeing great results. And about halfway through, she felt like everything was really overwhelming. And we had to reconstruct the whole mindset behind it, because if it feels overwhelming, then sometimes we have to take a step back a little bit and say, okay, let's kind of ease back and look at like what is the most important thing right now. Or the second part, which is usually the thing, is that there's not enough structure. So if you don't have enough structure, it's going to feel chaotic. And I know I've talked about this before, but I'm going to keep saying it because I'm going to beat it in your head that structure is really, really important. If you don't have structure, you have chaos. And if you have chaos, you don't know what's going on. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow, it's 3 months down the road and I haven't even completed anything that I had planned on doing, because there was no structure and there was no plan and there was no follow through. And so it's really, really important to create that structure. And if you do that week by week with the habit stacking, all of a sudden you're 3 months in and you're like, whoa, my life is completely transformed and I'm nowhere doing what I was 3 months ago, but it's so much better. All right, friends, let's talk about something that's a little uncomfortable, but super important. Parasites. Yup, those unwanted guests in our bodies that can mess with our energy, digestion, and throw off our internal system. Now, most of us don't think about doing a parasite cleanse, but the truth is, these pesky little things are more common than we'd like to think, and they can lead to all kinds of symptoms that many people just live with, thinking they're normal. Now, it's not a matter of not having parasites at all. Rather, it's about how many do you have and what havoc are they creating internally. That's why I'm excited to share the Rot Your Hood Super Purify Kit with you. It's a comprehensive, all-natural kit that helps rid your body of parasites gently and effectively. I like to say this is white pant approved. It's easy to use, and it's a great way to reset and support your health from the inside out. Because let's be real, detoxing isn't just a trend. It's a way to help our bodies function better. The reason I love the Super Purify Kit for myself and my clients so much is it doesn't just touch on parasites. This kit includes a heavy metal flush, a candida detox, a binder which is very much needed, and a red artist tincture designed to support your gut and your organs as you are detoxing. So if you've been feeling sluggish, bloated, or just not quite like yourself, it might be time to give parasite detoxing a try. Grab the Rot Your Hood Super Purify Kit and start taking charge of your health, and see what a difference it makes when you clear out what shouldn't be there in the first place. Go to www.rogershood.com/REF/8. This link will automatically apply a 10% off discount code for you. If that doesn't work, you can also apply Lizzie10. Again, that is www.rogershood.com/REF/8. You can also find this link in the show notes. Now, there's also a book called Atomic Habits that's really, really good if you want to learn about habit stacking and a little more of the science behind that. But one of the things that I've learned, and I can't remember who was saying this, but they said it takes 21 days in order to develop a habit. Okay, so you can do anything for 3 weeks, 21 days, but it takes 21 days to develop a habit. But it actually takes 90 days in order to cement that habit in. So give yourself more time. Give yourself more time to be consistent. Consistency and a habit that sticks doesn't just come in 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And it is kind of like, if you could start going to the gym. Let me give you an example here. If you start going to the gym, you're not going to see results day one. Okay? So are you just going to give up and be like, I'm not going to go to the gym anymore because I didn't get the muscles that I wanted, or I didn't lose the weight that I wanted. So I'm not going to keep going because in one time, I didn't see that. I didn't see what I wanted to see. You're not going to give up. Or if you do, you gave up too soon. Hopefully you're not one of those people that's in the New Year's resolution of, oh my gosh, I'm going to go to the gym now. And I'll go home and 2 weeks in, you're like, nah, I'm done. I'm not seeing what I want to see. And the reason a lot of people stop with their New Year's resolution and don't go to the gym anymore and they're not consistent is because there's no plan, which is also why I want to do this 6-week Undiet You program, because I want to get you started. And you need to have a plan. You need to have something that's going to keep you accountable. And quite frankly, you most likely need something that you invest a little bit of time and a little bit of money into it. So some people, it's more than just that. But I have yet to see someone that is successful with something unless they put a little bit of money into it. I have yet to see that, because there's no commitment to it. There's no motivation to it. If you put a little bit of investment behind it, sometimes a lot too, depending on what's going on, you are more committed because it's something that you had to work for. So put yourself in a place for better success this year by investing a little bit of money and a little bit of time into it. And so that's just the first part. The other part is the fact that it gives you education and structure. And I just can't tell you guys how important that is. It is so incredibly important to have structure and to have a plan, because if you don't, you got chaos. And that doesn't work. So, what are some things that you can do to get started other than water? Let me give you an example of, let's say you're drinking a lot of sugary drinks. So if you're drinking a lot of sugary drinks, whether it's Starbucks or energy drinks or whatever the case may be, what you can do is swap one of those drinks out for a water or an electrolyte, something like that. Swap it out for that. And when you do that, you're going to start being hydrated better. You're going to start detoxing, and that's going to help you with more energy. It's going to help you sleep better. It's also going to aid in weight loss because that helps with that too. I can't tell you the amount of people that I see that when I run their blood work, how dehydrated that they are. And I've had people that drank maybe 30 ounces of water a day. And that's like a fraction of what you should be drinking on a daily basis. So swap, and you can also do like herbal teas. So herbal teas are good to swap for that too. Even bone broth or kombucha, like those are things that will hydrate you and they can count towards your daily water intake. If you're not doing any kind of exercise at all, 10 minutes a day of walking. Now, you're not going to want to do only 10 minutes forever, but that's a start. If you're not doing any kind of intentional exercise at all, start with 10 minutes and then build onto it. And each day you could say, okay, I did 10 minutes yesterday. Tomorrow I'm going to do 5 more minutes. And the day after that, I'm going to do 5 more minutes. And you slowly build onto that. Figure out what that needs to be. The other thing that can help you is your mental wellness. So starting your day with gratitude and mindfulness, whether that's journaling or just, being aware of your thoughts and having gratefulness. Like we did this thing with my group of people a while ago where they had to write down like every morning or every night, doesn't matter if you do morning or night, they had to write down 3 things that they were grateful for, no matter how big or how small they were. It could be the smallest things like, I'm grateful the sun's shining today. Like whatever it is, because everything starts with gratitude. And so I want you to think about gratitude. Like, what is that? Your heart is much more full and you don't find as many like negative things in your life if you look for gratitude. Now, listen, I know that there's hard things that happen in life, and we're not saying that those things don't happen, but still look for gratitude within the difficult times and look for the positive things. Like, sometimes people get annoyed with my optimism. I'm like, that's okay. I like to be a realist optimist. A funny story is a perfect moment for you to share. I was traveling a couple months ago and got to the airport late at night. I had a rental car reserved at the airport, and I get to the rental car place. It was supposed to be ready to go. I get there, and the person at the counter goes, well, it's an hour wait. And I was like, what do you mean it's an hour wait? There was a person in front of me, and there were multiple people sitting in the waiting room there, and they're all like, "Yeah, that's what they told us too." I was like, "Well, that doesn't make any sense. We all reserved cars. Like, how is it that there's no cars are available?" And what were we gonna do? Wait? Yep. We waited. And so what ended up happening was like really, really interesting to watch. There's a couple in front of me, and this guy was livid. He was so livid. And he started like yelling at the lady at the counter. And the lady that was with him was recording it on video. Now, this looked like some kind of executive person. So I was like, ooh, this is not good. So I distanced myself a little bit, but I like watched what was happening. And eventually they got him his car, but it wasn't pretty. And so about 30 minutes go by, and there's a whole group of us, standing there, and we start talking and joking around. And so I just decided to start telling jokes to make everybody laugh. And so not long after that, the lady comes up and she's like, "Hey, I want you to get in line. We're going to have your car ready soon." So there's one person in front of me, and then there was me. And in 30 minutes, I think it was like 30 minutes, it wasn't a full hour. All of a sudden, we all had our cars. And so the entire energy shifted because I decided to bring that atmosphere into the arena when everybody was frustrated and they just wanted their cars. And I was like, let me just see what I can do here. And I changed the whole energy in there. And by the time everybody was leaving, it was like everybody was saying bye and they were laughing and telling jokes, as frustrating as the situation was. And so within that moment, I really thought about, okay, what did that moment mean? And one of the things that I realized is that, we get to choose at that point in time if we're going to be angry and we're going to lash out and take it out on people to get our way, or if we're going to be the person that brings light. And the person that brings light is the person that people are going to remember, and they're going to remember that moment as a positive moment and not a negative moment. And so it's really important to watch that, especially when we're out and about with people. So, anyway, I just wanted to share that story because it was really eye opening for me. Another thing that can really help you, especially it's the beginning of the year, and sometimes we can feel pretty cluttered after the holidays 'cause there was so much stuff going on, parties, all the things. So, one, I want you to think about decluttering. What are you doing to declutter your home, your space, to make sure that you're feeling calm? Because that it's a lot of stimulation and overstimulation during the holidays. And so, what are you doing to declutter? I just went through my office today and I just shredded all my papers, organized, organized, organized. And when I do that, I feel much more in control. So think about that. What is your environment like? And make sure your environment is set up for success as well. So I want you guys to really think about this. Like, what are your goals for 2025? What do you want to accomplish? And then when you look at that goal, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, where do you want to be at the end of 2025? I want you to look at that. And then I want you to think about what those steps are. And because the reality is you can have a goal in place and you can say, yeah, I want to accomplish this. But if you don't have an action plan and structure in place in order to get there, like it doesn't do any good because you're just winging it. And you don't want to just wing it if you want it to be successful. And so then along with that, I want you to think about like those small steps. Like what are those habits? Those small habits on a weekly basis that you can start implementing in it. So drinking water, going for a walk, making time for gratitude, swapping your sugary drinks for an herbal tea or a water or a kombucha, making sure you're getting enough protein, and take action on that. Like really think about like what is it that you want and what is it that you deserve? because you deserve it. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to feel healthy. But your mindset behind it also is so incredibly important. If you talk to the majority, if not 100% of my clients, every single one of them will most likely tell you that the hardest work, but the most important work that they do or have done is the mindset. The mindset behind why they're doing what they're doing and changing the thought process, changing the approach, changing how they're doing things, changing how they're thinking. That's really the most important part, because at the end of the day, if you don't heal internally and you don't help yourself internally, like in your heart and what's going on in your head, like if you don't help that, it doesn't matter how much weight you lose, because what's going to happen is you could lose, 20, 30 pounds, but then there's this vicious cycle of coming back to your old habits if nothing has changed in here. That's why it's so dangerous to do a quick crash diet or a fat diet that just tells you what you can't eat and what you should eat, but there's no other work behind it. And then you lose all that. And then at the end of it, you go back to your old habits and then you gain the weight and more of it back. And now you're even more frustrated because you're like, well, it worked, but it didn't work. So it didn't work long term. You want to do something that works long term. Before I go, I just want to remind you guys again, like, go to my website, undietyou.com, please. It's also going to be in the show notes, but please go there and scroll down where you will find the 6-week Undiet You signature program. Please sign up for it. Please come in there. You're going to be in my app. You're going to be in a group chat. You're going to have lots of educational materials. I'm going to teach you a new lesson every single week. You're going to really learn how to fuel and nourish and take care of your body in a healthy, sustainable way. I guarantee that. And you will feel better. All right. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this show. If you did, please leave a review and let me know how you liked it. It really helps. And it also helps to boost the algorithm of the podcast. So don't gatekeep. Give me your thoughts, give me your ratings, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for tuning into the Lizzie Ens Show. If you're ready to take the next step to transforming your health and life, visit www.undietyou.com for all my resources and to book your consultation today. Don't forget to subscribe and join me each week for more tips, inspiration, and conversations with phenomenal guests to help you feel your best. See you guys next week.